Okay, step 14, pricing properties and CMA. A good CMA can separate a sold listing from an expired listing. I always talk about that. Pricing properties is the most important skill to develop if you wish to become a top producer. You really need to understand your market, you need to know the prices, you need to know why the prices are the way they are, and you really need to understand how to price a property to sell. A good CMA will help the seller also realize the right listing price. Top producers preview properties on a regular basis to understand property values, so you need to go out there every single day previewing properties, which I spoke about in time management segment of this video program. Previewing properties will help you understand the market ins and outs, exactly what's happening. If you look at every single active listing in your market, you go preview it, then you know exactly how to price these houses. You know which one is overpriced, you know which one is underpriced. Okay, and also sellers look to hire market experts. So when you have a discussion with the seller and you know exactly what you're talking about because you've seen every single house on the market, in a seller's market, and almost in any market, but definitely 100% in a seller's market, all you gotta do is price a property correctly, and the property is going to sell itself. You don't need to do nothing. You don't even need to advertise it. You just put it in the MLS and in 24 hours, you're getting an offer. Now, in order to be in this position that you're capable of doing that, okay, to price properties correctly, follow the steps recommended in this chapter. Just follow these steps. You should consistently preview properties and study the local market every single day. Print out the update sheet, look at what's available, look at what's becoming available, which is the active listings. Go out and take a look, and also look at those properties that are on price reduction. You need to understand who is reducing prices and at what point they're getting offers and contracts. And you gotta watch out not to overprice listings, okay? A lot of agents, because they don't have listings and they really need a listing, so they go out there, they do a listing presentation, the seller wants to list the property 20% above market, and they take the listing because they don't have any other listings. So you got to be careful of this position. Don't put yourself in that position. Okay, knowing your market and how to price the properties will help you get more listings, and more importantly, get them sold. And the more sold listings you get, the more new listings you'll get. If a seller knows you just sold something down the block in 3 days over asking, they want you to be the listing agent on their property. So here's how you become an expert. Okay, follow these steps. Number one, you need to choose a niche. Okay, a niche can be a property type, as an example, single family homes, or luxury homes, or condominiums as an example, or 2 families. Choose a niche, okay, that you want to work in. And then number 2, you want to choose a specific market, so a specific section in a certain area. So number 2, choose a specific market. Number 3, you want to choose a price range within your market. So, for example, if in your market you have properties that are selling at 200 and you also have properties that are selling at 800, you got to choose a price range within this market that you wish to be an expert of. And then at number 4, you have to, on your local MLS system, you need to do a research, and you got to look for the following properties. You got to look for active homes. How many homes are active in your market? At what price range you have more homes? At what price range do you have a lack of listings? You got to study the active market and understand what's happening. Okay, for example, in some markets, the low end, there is almost no inventory, and then at the higher end there is a bunch of inventory. The mid-range has a bunch of inventory. So you really need to understand the active market and what's selling, what's not selling, what's moving fast, what's not moving fast. You have to look at average days on the market. You got to look at all the solds in the area. You got to understand what's sold in the last year, last 6 months to 9 months. You got to understand exactly what is selling and what is not selling, which brings us to expired listings. You got to know what expired in the last 6 months. And you want to also look at current under contract, so you understand exactly what's going under contract versus the ones that are not. And you also want to study the withdrawn market and price reduction. These are things you need to know in order to really become an expert. Okay, now when you go to a listing presentation and you're putting inside your pre-listing package a CMA, I want to show you what needs to be inside the CMA, and it's going to become part of your presentation that we teach you how to do the presentation. We're going to talk about this specific CMA. So first of all, you got to have 3 similar sold properties in the last 3 to 6 months. Now, if the market is very active, 3 months should be sufficient because a lot of homes will be sold in 3 months. And remember, when we talk about similarity, they need to be similar in size, similar in condition, and similar in location. All right, you can't choose houses in different locations. You need to basically narrow it down to the same vicinity, more or less, okay? Okay, next, 3 similar expired listings in the past 6 months. So look over all the expireds, choose the right properties that are very similar in price to what the seller is looking to get, and use those in your presentation in order to bring the seller to agree with your recommended listing price. Okay, next. Choose 3 similar current active listings. So you're going to look at all the active listings in the market. You're going to choose the most similar ones in size, in condition, location, or obviously more or less where you want to be with your price, where you should be with your price. And then highlight the average days on the market on each and every one of those listings, because part of the conversation will always go back to how soon do you want to be sold. Look at how long it's been on the market. You said you want to move in like 60 days. This house has been on the market for 180 days. So obviously that price is not going to work for you guys. So we're going to use all this information. The CMA has to basically help you price the property at the right price. You're the expert, so you need to prepare yourself accordingly. The sellers are not. So you need to educate them, and you need to bring enough information in order to do that. Okay, one of the things that I did always, which separated me from the competition, not a lot of agents are doing that. When I chose the 3 active listings that I included in my CMA, I always went before my listing appointment and I went to preview those active listings. So when I speak to the sellers about these 3 active homes, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not doing any guessing. Okay, I know specifically each and every house because I walk through the homes. I know the backyard, I know the front yard, I know if it needs any work, if it's in perfect condition, I know how many beds they have, I know how many bedrooms they have, I know the size of the closets, I know everything. And when I talk to the seller about it, I can then speak from a point of view of an expert versus someone who's just guessing. So it's very important, if you choose 3 active listings to put inside your CMA, go preview those listings. Okay, that's it for step number 14. I'll see you at step 15.